As most of you already heard, Kristy Scott finally showed Desmond Scott the door after he was exposed kissing another woman. And while the world already clocked the cheating and knows the regret will hit once the divorce smoke clears, Desmond is still out here doing the absolute maximum, trying to sell the illusion that life is better without Kristy. Everyone thought he'd fade into the background, move in silence, and heal off camera. Instead, he popped back up instantly, dead center, mouth locked with a mystery woman, like someone frantically trying to prove a point to the same audience that watched him burn his marriage to Kristy down, or maybe he's just trying to convince himself. Because let's be honest, this wasn't quiet, random, or some unfortunate moment. This was bold, deliberate, and shoved straight in our faces, with zero attempt to hide it or soften the signal. For over 10 years, Kristy and Desmond weren't just married. They were that couple. High school sweethearts who grew together, upgraded their lives, and built everything side by side, all under the public eye. A family, a brand, a loyal following that watched them evolve in real time. 2 kids, shared businesses, shared content, shared victories. Everything about them said, we created this together.
Option number 1.
It's a no.
And didn't just watch their story unfold. They were deeply invested in it. People cheered for them, protected them, and trusted the narrative they presented. So when Kristy filed for divorce and listed Desmond's adultery as the reason, this didn't register like an ordinary split announcement. It landed like a body blow. For the people who supported them, it wasn't simply a marriage ending. It was the implosion of a picture-perfect storyline they had followed and believed in for years. And while Kristy has been moving with restraint, Desmond moved like someone who'd been counting down until the leash snapped, with zero regard for how it appeared. The ink barely had time to dry on the divorce paperwork before he was already out front doing the most, behaving less like a man absorbing consequences and more like someone desperate to prove he's finally untethered. And knowing their history somehow makes Desmond look even worse, which feels almost impossible. Yet here we are. They met as teens, married early, and spent 12 years constructing what looked like a stable, highly enviable life from scratch. Their content never felt stiff or manufactured. It felt natural, lighthearted, and genuine. Audiences weren't just consuming highlights. They were welcomed into their home, their private jokes, their parenting moments, and their everyday rhythm as a family. It felt authentic. And that's exactly why the aftermath feels so disturbing. When something that seems solid and rooted collapses this fast, it doesn't just shock people, it rattles us. The question stopped being about what went wrong and started turning into how long it had already been broken before anyone noticed. Looking back now, the warning signs were hiding in plain sight. By late 2025, the content had shifted in ways that feel obvious now. Kristy was still present, still energized, still committed to the skits, still carrying the weight of the brand like she always had. If anything, she was doing more, pushing harder to keep the wholesome image intact. Desmond, meanwhile, felt distant even when he appeared on screen. The laughter felt strained. The energy was flat. He was present in body, but his mind had already drifted elsewhere, detached and checked out in ways the lens couldn't completely disguise. And yes, content pressure is real. Living your life on display, performing day after day, can grind anyone down. Kristy's nonstop energy, the expectation to always show up and shine, may have started to feel suffocating. That part is human. But this is where the boundary stays firm and never fades. Frustration doesn't excuse betrayal. Exhaustion doesn't justify sneaking around. Being emotionally done does not give you the right to invite other people into the space your spouse still occupies. Once you cross that line, it stops being about pressure and becomes about choice. Desmond later admitted he'd been wanting a separation for some time. They even tried counseling, attempting to untangle what was breaking. Kristy, by every account, kept showing up, kept hoping, kept trying, kept fighting for the marriage she still believed in. Desmond, meanwhile, confessed to making what he vaguely called choices he wasn't proud of. A long, careful way of telling the world he cheated. And once that betrayal happened, everything else instantly lost its meaning. Cheating wasn't just a bad decision. It was the final fracture, legally and emotionally, that shattered the marriage. Kristy filed for divorce, and in a heartbeat, 12 years of shared life, love, and effort were reduced to the sterile language of court filings. What made it worse was how little time Desmond allowed for anything to settle. Just days after the filing became public, a now viral video surfaced of him in a Houston bar, seated with a woman on his lap, kissing her for what felt like an eternity. No discretion, no attempt to disappear. This wasn't a blurry accident. It was sharp, intentional, and impossible to miss. And honestly, it didn't even matter whether the woman was a long-time side relationship or someone he met that night. The message landed loud and clear. Desmond was already gone, emotionally and publicly, and he made sure everyone knew exactly where his focus was. What unsettled people most wasn't just the kiss, it was the speed of it. Desmond moved like a man who'd checked out long before the ending became official, like someone who'd packed his emotional bags years ago and was finally stepping into public to prove it. What's even stranger is how unaware he seems of how humiliating all of this looks. Or maybe he sees it perfectly and simply doesn't care. Desmond was always going to lose fans once the cheating surfaced. Kristy's supporters were never going to stand by him. That was inevitable. But instead of trying to salvage even a fragment of his reputation, he dove headfirst into the chaos. To some, that public kiss looked reckless, like the opening scene of his influencer career imploding. To others, though, it told a different story. A man deliberately feeding the drama engine, fully aware that controversy brings clicks, and clicks keep the money flowing. Flows. If Desmond already knew he'd lost the audience that stood behind Kristy, maybe he decided he might as well build a different one. An audience that doesn't care about ethics, timing, or loyalty. An audience that shows up strictly for the mess, the spectacle, the disorder. From that angle, the kiss wasn't careless. It was content. A deliberate, watch what I do next moment crafted to keep attention locked on him, no matter how ugly it appeared. But while Desmond was busy acting out his version of liberation, Kristy was quietly securing the win. She didn't go live in tears. She didn't unload in long, angry captions. Instead, she posted photos from her kitchen, calm, grounded, fully at home, with just 2 words in the caption, same address. That was it. And the message couldn't have been clearer. She kept the house, the multi-million-dollar home they purchased together, and Desmond was gone. That post hit harder than any emotional rant ever could, because it wasn't just symbolic. It was reality. Desmond didn't only lose his marriage. He lost his home, all because he couldn't stay faithful. And to make it even more embarrassing, Desmond liked the post. Yes, he liked the very post that was clearly meant to embarrass him. That single tap said everything. It confirmed what people were already thinking. Either this man has no shame, or worse, he's fully embracing it. Liking the post felt like a nod to the audience, like saying, yeah, I see it too. And for his new followers, the drama-obsessed, chaos-addicted crowd, that kind of audacity is exactly what keeps them watching. But there may be more behind it than just defiance or theatrics. Some believe Desmond went so public with that kiss to shut down rumors that he'd been cheating with a man. In that version of the story, the kiss wasn't about attraction at all. It was about steering the narrative, proving something, and cutting off whispers before they spread further. And when you really think about that, it's unsettling, because the harder someone works to prove a point, the more you start wondering what they're actually trying to conceal. There's even speculation that he paid someone to record it, or maybe even leaked it himself to TMZ. If that's true, and it's still only speculation, it only pours fuel on the original rumors, because honestly, why go to those lengths otherwise? At the end of the day, like I said before, Desmond may have had genuine reasons for wanting out. Maybe he felt boxed in by nonstop content, impossible expectations, a marriage that no longer felt light or joyful. Those emotions are valid. His behavior is not. The cheating wasn't required. The public humiliation wasn't necessary. And parading a new woman days after the divorce filing wasn't bold, it was reckless. Desmond looks like a man who's misplaced himself, but is selling it as a good time. He appears charged up, untethered, almost euphoric. But that kind of high never lasts, especially once attorneys enter the picture, especially when assets, custody, and long-term fallout start piling up. Kristy, meanwhile, hasn't even said her full piece yet, and honestly, she doesn't have to. She's allowing silence, patience, and calculated restraint to speak on her behalf. And if Desmond believes this carefree era has no expiration date, he should remember one hard truth. The loudest, most reckless performances usually happen right before the silent, inescapable collapse. Almost inevitably, once the divorce is finalized, the spotlight shifts elsewhere and the rush fades. Desmond will be left realizing that freedom without dignity always comes with a price. Meanwhile, Kristy remains planted at the same address, quite literally coming out on top, while the rest of us watch closely, waiting to see just how much more Desmond is about to lose.